kind of project. Yeah.
Yes, that's the one. That's exactly that. So I was involved in that. You know, just for a few months, I think. You know, that was really hard work, but I did enjoy it. But it was over 1,000 few words, so it's like one word, sign that, next word, sign that, you know. Oh, I can tell you the paper really did build up. It was like over 1,000 words in the end. But I did enjoy it, even though it was hard work. But I did enjoy it. So that part was enjoyable. Then went into media, so website. Okay, so then that went onto a website first, and then later it developed into an app.
Mm-hmm.
So that was good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I decided, well, I had a thought about what I was going to do next. So I thought in the back of my mind, I really wanted to move to London. So I visited London, had a look around, sussed up the areas, met a few people, and I realised I loved London. So, you know, in Surrey, in the Borehamwood School in Surrey, you know, London was not too far, so I could visit. And I realised that was something, you know, I wanted to do and something that I liked, but I thought, you know, that could be later in life because I obviously went to Shenfield College, went to Wolverhampton University and then to London. So finally I moved to London in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
And I've lived here for 20 years.
Ever since.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I realise that London is my home. I love it so much.
Same.
You know, it's amazing. You know, it's definitely my home.
Mm-hmm.
But also the added benefit here is the community. It is huge compared to other parts of the UK. You know, there's so much variety, events, activities, you know, things to do. So I feel like this is the various things that I can get involved in is a positive thing, you know. And when I compare it to other places in the UK, like with Leeds, you know, Leeds is not my cup of tea. I definitely prefer London. So I moved to London, started looking for work. Oh yes, that's right. So I worked here, looked for work on Channel 4, you know, that time. They had a deaf program. It was called VTV. Yeah, V, that's right, yes. So I got involved in that, had a job as a cameraman and runner. So, you know, I started at the bottom and slowly went to the top. But, you know, I had to start somewhere, so I thought, why not? But I realised, you know, sometimes it was hard work. It was a lot of hours invested in it, lots of running about, late evenings, waking up early. So it was a lot of work. But I just got on with it. So I stayed with 3 deaf friends in their flat in Blackheath. So that was my first time staying there, and I stayed there for about 6 months. After that, I moved to Lewisham. So with 4 deaf. So we shared a house, and that was lovely. And sorry. Oh, so I stayed at that house for 2 years.
Okay.
So I remember at 2004, right? About that, 2004. I moved to my own flat. So I thought, no, let's get rid of everyone else. Let me just live on my own. So I still worked in media. But sometimes it was difficult. It wasn't an easy job. because income was up and down. It wasn't something that was regular and reliable. You know, you might know what that's like. But you know, the interpreter was good, the communication was good, it was, you know, it was clear that deaf people can do this. We can do media, you know, I can be a runner, I can work with an interpreter, I can have all this variety. You know, a deaf person can do it with support, of course, by an interpreter. Is that right? Do you want me to continue?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to,
Yeah.
are you alright?
Yeah, for another 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine, I'm just checking. Okay,
Yeah.
So my new girlfriend from Croatia, and she stayed with me, stayed in my flat, so you know, life was good, things carried on. So did my media. So then VTV stopped and I moved out and I became like a freelancer. But freelance work was hard, especially within the media world. It was not simple. You know, work came up here and there, you know, and I had to kind of feel my way around. Sorry, just need to clarify. So media, specifically in the deaf community, was a very small part. More people joined the media front in theatre, in filming, in photography. It did expand in time, but before it was very, very, very small. But it did slowly start to expand. Which actually just showed that actually as a deaf community we could do it. So this is like the 2000s. So that was good. But it was still very sporadic work, and it wasn't simple. But I carried on to see what was out there. So as part of my freelance job, I filmed a wedding. I did some photography and interchange between those two over some time. So 2008, I would say. Yeah, but I think it's about that. Yeah, 2008. I thought that I would change and go into publicity. Oh, into marketing. Sorry, into marketing. The name of that was Communication ID. I don't know if you've heard of that before.
Yeah, I have heard those.
Yeah, so I worked for them. So I first worked with them as a voluntary for a very brief period of time. I did workshops with them, and they asked if I wanted to work with them. So I was like, great. So they offered me a job as a marketing officer with them. So that was Communication ID. It was linked to advertising, Facebook, linked to many different deaf events, deaf news, deaf whatever, lots of different things. So that's what I was responsible for, which was good. So I did that for 1 year, and then I thought, it's time for me to go. So they also started to close down around that time, so I thought, okay, this is the time to move on. So I thought, what's next? Right. So I went, Dynamic. Have you heard of that, Dynamic? Okay, now they've closed down, but from before, they taught courses on how to become a teacher. So they taught different courses there. So I thought, let me join that.
Sign language. So it was specifically for teaching in sign language.
So they taught sign language courses, BSL 1 to BSL 6 and interpreting, but also how to become a teacher. So they taught me how to become a teacher. So I stayed there for 1 year, studied there, I think so, for about 1 year, a limited amount of time. But I enjoyed it. Learning and developing my teaching style, and at the end I achieved my qualifications, so I was happy with that. And then I saw an advertising website, Oak Lodge. So I thought, let me apply. So I started to work there. So I got the job, and I started to work there in the sixth form. But also enrichment. So enrichment. Within Oak Lodge School. So I thought, I'm interested in that, especially within photography. So I was like, yes, let me apply. So I worked for the school and worked for the sixth form. Now, how long have I been doing that? 7 years ago, about 7 years ago. I started that, about then.
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoyed that, met lots of people. It was good. And then I applied to be a BSL teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, sorry, let me just clarify. No, sorry, let me just be a bit clear with that. So there was an Oak Lodge School. So I did sixth form and enrichment at Oak Lodge School. And then there was a department called Deaf First, where they then teach BSL courses, they worked in the community, CSWs, note takers. So I heard that there was an advertisement for a BSL teacher, but, I beg your pardon. I had seen an advert for BSL tutor, but there was no availability at the time. So I went in and thought, because there was no availability there, although I did want to be a BSL tutor, I thought, let me just keep that at the back of my mind as an option. But so Deaf First, knew that I was a really good teacher and heard about what I was doing in school, so thought, why can't I teach BSL as well? But it was just about waiting for that availability to be there to be able to do that. So there was a lady, Jennifer. Jennifer decided that she would quit because it was too much for her. A conversation was had and I replaced her and I became the teacher. Yay, I got there. So I started work there, and that brings me all the way to today. But I love teaching BSL. I do. But also, the deaf students and enrichment and everything, and just BSL in general. So that brings me to today.
Okay, and we should have a break.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you. And you're a good teacher. Pause it.